Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I haven't done a trick tip in a while, but I had some people asking for it in one of our polls. So today I'm going to show you the easiest way to do a backside axle stall as well as a backside 50-50. Let's get it. And if you already know how to do an axle stall or a backside 50-50, still watch this video. If there's something you think I left out, make sure to comment that down below. An axle stall is a beginner mini ramp trick. However, it is one of the most important things to learn because as you learn it, you start to unlock a lot more other tricks. So what is an axle stall? It's when you go up the ramp backside, your back truck lands on the coping, and then you also set your front truck down on the coping as well. The difference between an axle stall and a 50-50, a stall is when you go up and you simply stall on the ramp, you don't move at all, you don't go forward, you don't go backwards, you literally just stall there and then go back in. Whereas a 50-50 is when you go up the ramp, you put both trucks down and you're gonna grind all the way across the coping and then back in. But before you learn either of these tricks, there are three things you wanna make sure you know how to do first. And the first one is a backside slash grind. The second thing, you wanna make sure you have enough speed, and the easiest way to do that is when you know how to drop in. And lastly, to learn how to go up and stall, especially backside, it's super simple if you already know how to do a backside rock and roll. If you don't know how to do that, I've got a link right up here to a video where you can have me teach you how to do a rock and roll. So to do this trick, first you want to know where to put your feet, and I put my front foot directly over the bolts, and then my back foot goes right here, kind of in the pocket, and I put a lot of the pressure on my back foot on my heel. So you can see my heel's kind of hanging off. That's where most of the pressure is. So when you do this trick, there's two different ways that you can do it. When I first learned how to do it, it looks like this. And so all of my pressure is on my heels going this way. But this isn't really the easiest way to do it. You can definitely learn it. This is what we call a heel lock-in. So when your heels are locked in on the heel side, this is one way you can 50-50. The easiest way to do an axle stall or a backside 50-50 isn't actually heel side, but it looks like this. And this is what we call the cross lock. So you can see the front truck is pushed all the way over here to where the wheel is connecting with the coping, and then the back truck is doing the same, but it's on the opposite wheel. This way, it's a lot more easier to balance and lock in. There's a point where you lock in. Whereas heel side, if you put all your pressure here and you slip out, you go down. This is a lot easier way to be set up to grind across the coping and to go back in. Well, I'm gonna share with you all the steps of how to do a backside axle stall because it's pretty much the same thing as a 50-50, but the 50-50 you go a little bit faster, you have some more speed, and that's what carries you as you grind through the coping. So when you drop in to do a backside axle stall, you wanna make sure that you have enough speed. And as you approach the axle stall, you wanna make sure that your knees are bent. You wanna make sure that you have that pressure on that back heel, just like I was talking about, and you're gonna approach the coping at a little bit of an angle. If you go straight up, it's gonna be harder for you to lock in your back truck and your front truck. What will more than likely happen is that more of your body weight will go up on the deck. And so instead of you doing an axle stall, you'll probably land in a feeble stall. We don't want to do that. We want both trucks on the coping. As you approach the coping, make sure to lean into the ramp so that you don't ride off the coping. One of the things I see a lot with axle stalls or 50-50s is that people will have so much speed and there'll be so much on the deck that they'll start grinding, but they actually end up riding off of the coping and onto the deck. When you're leaned in, you make sure that you have that momentum built up so that you can go back into the ramp when you're done grinding. So as you approach the coping, make sure to lift your front truck up by putting pressure on your back foot on that heel. And when you feel your back truck lock in, press down on that heel. To get that cross lock, you wanna make sure that you press down on the heel and you'll feel the wheel connect with the coping. As soon as that happens, point your front foot so that the front truck lands on the coping in that cross lock. From here, you're already in the trick. All you need to know how to do is to turn and to go back in. If you know how to do a rock and roll that's all the way up on the deck, or if you've ever dropped in before, you're gonna know what to do from here. So put pressure on your back heel to lift up your front truck, bend your knees, and look where you're wanting to go. Remember, wherever your head is looking, your shoulders are gonna follow, your hips, your knees, and your feet. And as you go back in, don't feel like you need to turn as hard as a rock and roll because you're not doing a 180-degree turn, you're just going 90 degrees. So turn, lift up, bend those knees, and ride away. So I have a few different tips when you first start learning this trick that could help you in building up confidence and getting the motion down. And the first one is to try it on a bank first. Go to your local skate park, find a bank, even if your trucks don't lock in, get the motion of going up, sitting in 50-50 right there on the pivot point of the bank where the angle connects, and then turn 90 degrees and go back in. Second, if you're scared to go at too much of an angle, try going up, straight up at it, and getting into a feeble first. And when you get in feeble, then you can readjust over into 50-50 and then go back into the ramp. I know it may take a long time and it may not look super cool, but you start getting the motion down. It's baby steps into learning how to do an axle stall. And lastly, when you start doing the backside 50-50, focus on the crosslock, get a little bit more speed, but don't worry about grinding the whole thing first. Start with baby steps. Go at a little more of an angle than you would with the stall. Start with smaller grinds first and just get the motion and the timing down of doing the 50-50. One of the things I see a lot of people do when they first learn it is that they will grind and then they'll literally stop, land in a stall, and then go back in. Obviously, the end game is to go up and grind across it and to go back in as quick as possible. But as long as you're getting the motion down of grinding across, stopping, and going back in, it's gonna help you learn these and learn them really, really well. Well, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Learning this trick opens up a whole new realm of tricks for you to learn as a mini ramp skater. It is a beginner trick, but I promise it opens up the doors to those intermediate and advanced tricks. If this did help you, make sure to comment down below any of the tricks you want me to teach you here on this channel. Like this video, it really does make a difference. And then also, check these out. We have some other mini ramp videos right here. Some trick tips, some sessions, just some good times on the mini ramp. Check them out.